Imagine how different this would have been today. All right, let's just look back briefly over the game. What stands out to you? I mean, we didn't talk about the game at all. We just kind of talked about the circumstances of the Panthers. That gave up gashing, that got gashed on the ground by Alvin Kamara early in this game.
Yeah.
Defense continues to look bummy. All right, not great. I don't know. You guys tell me. What did you think about? I mean, give me some specifics about the game. Something other than us just arguing theoretically about this team. What you saw in the final week. Did you see any players that potentially you wanted to see some development out of that showed something out? What did you think about this game?
Well, I can say realistically, although the defense didn't play great, they didn't play bad. I mean, we let an opening drive up in the first drive of the game, and then we held the team scoreless the rest of the game. Now, granted, there were 2 missed field goals, but that means we at least held them out of the end zone for the rest of the game. So as bad as we want to give the team for this credit, they held this team to 7 points. Like,
what did you think about the play?
The defense didn't play bad. Sorry.
Well, no, don't apologize because you're making a great point. But when you're talking about that, what about the Andy Dalton missed? They could have had like a 70-yard touchdown, Andy Dalton to the other quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but that happens every game. There's how many times have we said Cam Newton or Baker Mayfield or Darnold had a guy wide open downfield, didn't even see him? I mean, it's part of the game.
Bro, the Washington Commanders are up 20-6. Sam Howell's out there dealing, and people in here saying Corral better than Howell.
He is.
Wow.
He didn't get the opportunity to show it, but he is. You're not going to sit there and tell me that Howell's a better player than Matt Corral. I will not stand for it. I won't stand for anybody. I don't ever stand.
Dak Prescott is garbage.
Matt Corral is the fucking guy, and he's just.
And how wild is it that the the Commanders.
Yeah, watch them racial slurs.
Man, all right.
I'm just fucking joking.
The fact is that all right. So one of the things was as we went into this game, and while we're searching for something as like a specific to talk about the game, which I do want to talk about why Terrace Marshall Jr. is not a bigger part of this team right now. As we sit there and look at that, we have been looking ahead of this week. Ron Rivera missed out last week. He said he didn't even realize that their team was about to be eliminated from the playoffs, and they're sitting here beating the Dallas Cowboys in week 16. This is a big deal, right? Is like, it sucks. How about this? We won. Is there something different? Is there anything different today about the Panthers winning this game and the Commanders? The Commanders are going out there and smoking a team that's about to go into the playoffs.
Well, yeah.
We barely won against a team who's not going to playoffs, but guess what? We're still hurting our prospects for next year. Is it a Pyrrhic victory, I think they call it?
That's why I say that he's wrong, that we should have kept Ron Rivera. Because what was it, last week against the Browns? Is that, they put Carson Wentz back in the lineup instead of Taylor Heineke. But what was one of the criticisms we always had of Ron Rivera? He would never play his young players enough. And look at Sam Howell right now. If they would have
Let's
gone
talk
with
about
the young
that
guy
today with our team.
A little bit earlier, maybe they would be in a better position than they are now. And I honestly am bringing it to our team. That's why I think a lot of people have a lot of trepidation about Steve Wilks going forward, because like it or not, he has this kind of old school mentality attached to him. So, you might be thinking, how about this? We had a very similar situation.
Mays. That's what I was setting you up. I was setting you up. I was trying to lob you the softball, baby.
Yeah, no, let me do it. I hate it. When Steve Wilks puts in Michael Jordan at left guard instead of Cade Mays, why are you not using this opportunity to get your rookie players some legit film to know what they need to work on and to know if they're going to be able to play meaningful football for you next year?
Let's play Josh Norman.
Yeah, dude. Dude, it's crazy to me, man. You have to play your young players.
I can agree with you to a certain point, but when Michael Jordan was the only touchdown we had today, I can't say it's for this specific argument.
Could have gotten that
for this
too.
specific argument,
You can't.
I can't say that.
I know.
He
Look,
fell on a fumble. He
was the worst player and made the best play of the day.
Right.
The worst play. A broke clock is right twice a day.
Yeah.
He was terrible.
Dude.
He was so bad.
Yeah,
and if you could,
bad.
he was. And you know what? I didn't even have a problem against him until certain people continued to tell me how bad Brady Christensen was because of this guy. And I was like, what the fuck? Who? You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't even hate him. I don't even hate him, but he's been terrible the whole time.
Yeah.
And I do believe this. I'm not a football expert football fan. Not a football expert. I just use the eye test. I feel like he's too tall to be a guard. Right? Is that, you know what I'm saying? I feel, isn't being super tall, like 6'6" or whatever, isn't that helpful when you're a tackle and you got long arms? But being a guard, you want to be pad level, which maybe I'm using. Right. You want to get on. And isn't it harder for a guy who is 6'7" to do that against Aaron Donald, who is 6'3"? Right? Is like, I don't want him to be tiny. I'm not saying, but I don't know if that's the best attribute for him. I feel like he's built, but it's kind of like when people said, who was that guy that we traded to the Dolphins or went to the Dolphins who was a second round pick?
Oh, fucking Greg Little.
Right. When they said put him at that guard. And A, you said he didn't have the mentality for being a guard, but B, his skill set doesn't lend towards him being a guard.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and that's just how I feel with Michael Jordan. I didn't even hate on him, but he was just terrible the whole time. He's just running around and falling everywhere. He looked like a clumsy giant.
Yeah, and by the way,
like a baby gazelle or some shit.
But this is what drives home the point, though. If you're Steve Wilks, you already know who Michael fucking Jordan is, and so do other people on this team, like James Campen. Use it, and okay, if it wasn't for Corbett going down, we wouldn't have ever seen Cade Mays. So eventually, we did see Cade, but still, why not use that opportunity to put in Cade Mays and see what he can do and evaluate your young talent? Games like this, where you're not playing for the playoff, dude, these are the perfect time for those games.
I
was saying last year when we were out of the playoffs that we needed to play Brady Christensen and see what we had in him. And we damn near never did that until it was too late.
You know what the sad part about this is, though? The sad part about this is that Cade Mays is the only name on this team, really, we could have said that about. We should have been thinking Amari Barno. We should have been thinking Barno the whole time. Mm-hmm. What I'm saying about this, and we did see Barno in there for a minute, isn't it sad that we don't have 3 or 4 names back queued up maybe on the defense?
I mean, we had Brandon Smith before they put him on IR.
Oh, is that what? Oh, he's on that. Okay.
I'm pretty sure they put him on IR.
That would have been great. Like, where are those names? All we can say about that, we can get upset about it, and Cade Mays is the only freaking guy.
What about Higgins?
I mean, they kind of do. If you think about it, they've got pretty much all their backups in there. You have a pretty heavy rotation on the defensive line with Hoskins, YGM, Marquise Haynes, Ioannidis, like Henry.
Ioannidis is a vet, though. Right. Ioannidis was a free agent vet. Like, you want some young guys. Who's the exciting guy that we all like Cody, like Shy Smith?
I was gonna say Shy Smith.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we have a host of like guys, but I think they're all pretty much getting opportunities somewhere. I think the biggest thing has been injuries. Like, if you look at our draft this past year, it was we had Matt Corral, and he's gone for injury purposes, and we had Brandon Smith, he's out for injury purposes. Amari Barno was luckily in there.
Did Chin play today? I hope not. I didn't hear. He did. Yeah, and we didn't hear his name one time.
No, we did. He made a good play actually on a 3rd down stop. He was able to.
Yeah, he had like one big stop today.
Did Luvu get the record?
I don't know what
Luvu,
record.
I know he had 1 tackle for loss. I saw him make 1 tackle for loss. Did Luvu? He had to get 3 to tie TD.
I don't think he did.
I don't know. I was like, I wish we had more, but you're right. Is who are like we already had those in. I guess I had just kind of forgot about these names. Like Barno. The first time I thought about Barno since July was today. I wish we would have had Brandon Smith in there today. That would have been fun to see something like that.
The Carolina Panthers never get the most out of their rookies. Never. When you look at other teams that, like, they'll draft players in the 5th or 6th round that come on to become a starter, like that normally never happens for Carolina. Because we depend on free agents, even if they've proven to be trash. We can go with their experience over the rookie that doesn't have as much. And to me, it's like that's a waste of evaluating the players on your football team.
I just don't think we have enough exciting young players at this point, which is sad given the fact that we're one of the youngest teams in the NFL. Terrace Marshall Jr. Today, big play. Right?
Yeah,
very important
big
play for this team. And you know what? You guys want to say that Panera loss. I mean, I would say Terrace Marshall Jr. won this game for us today by making 1 big play that did this. My question about him, and it's not about him, as I don't understand why he's just not a bigger part of the game plan. Week in, week out. Like, I feel like this is a guy, if I was scheming shit up, is that you got DJ Moore out there who's Mr. Consistent, can run around, can create disruption, can do some things. Terrace Marshall Jr. is a big possession receiver that also has a downfield threat. I don't know enough about these players to make comps crazily, but I think he could be the worst. Like, his floor should be Brandon LaFell. His ceiling could be Masim Muhammad.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's a good comparison. Wow. And by the way, when you mentioned Terrace Marshall Jr., that's another credit you have to give to Wilks for getting the most out of him when Matt Rule fucking never would play that guy.
Yeah, I feel like Marshall's like lack of production has less to do about him and more to do about a team that isn't interested to just figure out how to get the most out of somebody. Like, it's just like, hey, you can do this. You're going to do this or you're not going to do it. But I feel like you're sitting there. Why would you? My son goes to this private school and they're small. They're so small. They don't even play 11-on-11 football. They play like 7-on-7 or something. But they have this dude who is like 285 pounds who can run. Like, he's fast. Yeah. Like, he's a fast big boy. And they made him a running back.
Wow.
It's so messed up. It's like messed up. Like, they just, like, these poor kids, no one can tackle them. He's a senior. He's so big and he moves. It's like trying to tackle who was not Michael. Who do we have that everybody loved who was a smasher? Tolbert.
Yeah.
He's like a little Tolbert. Like, he should probably be like an offensive lineman or a defensive tackle or some shit. But he can move in a league that's kind of just built like, hey man, just hand it to him.
Yeah.
But imagine looking at that guy and being like, nah, just sit over there. Like, oh, we don't like this. You can either run a go route or you got to sit on the practice squad. Why didn't they make Terrace Marshall Jr. more? And maybe that's just silly at this point because it's a failed thing. But really, maybe this is just supplementing what you were saying, Cody. Is Terrace Marshall Jr. just feels like a good ingredient over there as a chef. You have a nice, fresh something to use in a dish, and you're like, nah, I'm just going to make the same dish I usually make, mac and cheese.
Yeah, to me, it's lazy. It's bad talent evaluation. And remember, he was hurt at the start of the season, and they kept on saying, remember, there was that weird Matt Rule interview where he was like, I don't know, he's just got to, like Matt Rule kind of put it
Practice
on
better.
Terrace
He said
Marshall
he's got to
Jr.
practice better.
Yeah. And like, what the fuck does that mean? Are you not playing him or is he hurt? Again, it just shows his poor leadership. But this year, how about this? There are a few players this year that gave me hope for their future and what they can be long term.
He's one of them.
Absolutely. And then Brady Christensen is another one. Another thing, with our final game of the year, we have to mention, looking back on this season, this is the first year that Brady Christensen ever played in his life. Okay, he never played it at BYU, and he never played it the previous year in the NFL. I mean, other than a few snaps here and there, but this was his first year legit playing guard, and I think that he was really damn good. And it's
Dallas
so good
didn't get
pass
it.
protection.
Dallas didn't get
It's
it.
pretty close, man. I'm sitting here watching. That's pretty close.
They're short.
It's close.
And then the final two people that I think that took a big step forward this year, I think Chubba Hubbard. I don't give a damn if you all want to fucking cry about it. Cry about it. I don't
Argue
give a
about
shit.
it anymore.
Chubba Hubbard.
A big step forward. You're saying a big step forward.
I think he took a step forward where
now he's changing his team.
where he wants to, where he's going to be able to play meaningful football for us at the running back position next year. He's going to be playing for us next year, and we're going to give him the rock. So I'm impressed with him. And then Terrace Marshall Jr. That elite speed downfield. Yeah, dude. He's fast, he's big, he's strong, and he's just absolutely what you want in a receiver. And he's the type of player.
Greg, what's this gonna do to the standings if the Cowboys lose? Real quick, I'm just watching the Cowboys game. What's going on in the NFL? And we're gonna get out. We're almost done. There's no more calls, so we'll just make our tell of shame. But
I think because the Eagles won and because the Vikings won, that it doesn't change anything. That whether they
the Eagles won today.
Well, they're winning right now. They're not up 19-9 in the fourth.
Who was the quarterback? Is Minshew the quarterback? Please say yes. Or did they start Hurts?
Jalen Hurts is active.
Yeah.
What's the score? What's the score and who are they playing? Give us a rundown, Stat Daddy, of what's going on in the NFL right now.
I know that right now Philly's up 19-9. I know that Dallas is down 6-23 in the fourth.
Yep.
And they just missed the fourth down.
The Chargers are up. No, the Chargers are losing to Denver 31-20. Does that do anything to the standings, Cody, for your boys? It's a good question. Seattle and the Rams are tied. If Denver beats the Chargers, Denver is winning right now.
No, the Chargers are in the playoffs no matter what happens.
I know. I didn't ask if it gets them out or not. Does it change their standing? Like, is there are they invested at all? I don't know enough about it. Seattle and Rams are tied. San Francisco is beating the dog shit out of Arizona 38-13. It's the Cliff Kingsbury fired game. And those are the games going on right now.
Everything's locked up. Actually, I'm sitting here looking at it right now. Chiefs are number 1 in the AFC. Bills 2, Bengals 3, Jags 4, Chargers 5, Ravens 6, Dolphins 7.
The Chargers are in the AFC.
That's what I'm saying, AFC. That's all locked up. NFC, Eagles are 1. If they win, Eagles are 1, Vikings 2, Niners 3, Bucks 4, Cowboys 5, Giants 6, and that's locked up.
What happens if the Cowboys lose today?
It doesn't matter.
Nothing.
They have a better record than the Giants, and they'll stay in number 5.
If they won and someone else lost, would it help?
No, if they won and the Eagles lost, then they would take the number 2, they would take the number 1 spot.
Really?
Because they beat the Vikings.
But they don't move from a 3 to a 2 in the.
No, so they can go. Well, the only way you can get a 2 is if you win your division. 1 through 4 are the division winners, so they can either win the wild card or win the division. And if they win the division, they win the number 1 seed.
Okay, so they're the best wild card.
They're the best.
And there's 3 wild cards.
Yeah, in each division or each.
Who's the third one in the NFC?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was wrong. No, I'm sorry. Seattle still has a chance to get in as a number 7 seed. They're fighting with the Lions and the Packers right now, and I guess it depends on. I don't know what it depends on.
Who is the third seed for each one?
Third seed is the Niners for the NFC and the Bengals for the AFC. But the AFC is locked up. Like there's no more.
How are the Niners that? What is their record? I feel like Niners have been so good.
Niners
should
are
be
12-4.
better.
They've won the
Yeah,
Niners are 12-4, but the Vikings won
Got to
today.
be the first wild card then. If they're 12-4, they're higher than the Giants and the.
No, but the Niners won their division.
Oh, okay. So they're
that's
not
why
a
they're number
wild
3.
card.
They won their division, but they're one game behind the Vikings.
What are the
Vikings
3
won
wild
13.
cards? Tell me that. Excuse me.
And can I just tell y'all this though?
Cowboys,
the
Giants,
wild card game that I'm looking forward to the most is one of the ones right off the bat. The Chargers are going to Jacksonville. So Justin Herbert and the Chargers versus Trevor Lawrence and the Jaguars. Y'all know that. Y'all know I'm looking forward to that game.
Right
Tell
now,
me the 3 wild card teams for each.
Okay, so in the AFC,
conference.
it's locked in as the Chargers, the Ravens, and the Dolphins in that order. And in the NFC, it's locked in as the Cowboys.
How are the Dolphins? The Dolphins made it. Did they win
today? Yeah.
Okay.
So right now in the NFC, it's locked in as the Cowboys and the Giants 5 and 6, and it's either Seattle, the Lions, or the Packers at 7, depending on how the rest of today plays out. Tomorrow plays out.
Say it again: Seattle,
the Lions, or the Packers, depending on how today and tomorrow plays out.
Wow.
So, but there's only one.
Any thoughts on that? Because Seattle, who do you think should be the? Who do you want to be the one?
Lions.
Really?
Just because of the story. I don't want to see Aaron Rodgers come back and make the playoffs after his asshole.
I feel like I must
be
evil. I must have evil in me. I want the Packers to be it.
I just don't like Aaron Rodgers' moxie, man. Like I used to, but now it's coming off as like asshole. Like before it came off as like cool guy. Now it's coming off as like you're a dickhead. Like you want the most money, whether you perform the best or not.
They just came back from 1-7.
Yeah, I know.
Hey guys, hold that thought. I've got to interrupt you.
Breaking news.
Because Michael Davis is the man, dude. With a $35 love bomb. You know we love you, Michael. He says, guys, I really enjoyed watching this season with you all. Really good job at the podcast. Looking forward to the off season with my C3 family. Keep pounding.
He's been the patron saint. He's a patron saint. I'm Catholic, so we're big into saints and what Cody would call superstition. Cody
he
would
made
call
that charity drive for us, didn't he? Michael Davis came through big time.
He makes it, man, the patron saint. Today this is for you Protestant and atheist people or any other one. Today is it's a saint veneration of. It's a blessed house day, so they have these 3 saints, and you put chalk on your doorway, and did it
so
today.
We're putting chalk on your doorway.
I did today. I did. I'm a Catholic, and it's a saint, and it's Saint Bartholomew. I'll look it up too, and it's like you have to put this equation up there. But we're crazy Catholics. That's why. I'm crazy Catholic, but. You always call me superstitious. You call it superstition. I call it belief, baby.
Religious.
Yeah. Well done.
Yeah, that's what that is.
That's exactly what it is. I love that. Also, can we talk one moment? Not talk about it, but the Dolphins, as tomorrow comes about the Black Monday, as somebody said earlier. I think G was the one that mentioned it. I even heard that the Dolphins guy was in jeopardy.
Dude, that's my number one.
Which I think is fucked up.
Yeah, I want him. I wish he was our head coach.
Me too. And I want to take Bombheads with
the young guy with the glasses, the hipster looking guy.
Yeah, the guy
who we almost smoked weed with.
Yeah.
I'm down.
No, but I mean, with that, is there any? And I don't think that's going to happen. How about this? What would be more far-fetched is if the Bears coach got fired or the Dolphins coach got fired.
Dolphins coach. Because the Dolphins.
I agree with you.
It would be more surprising.
Which they should. I mean, they did back into the playoffs. What's their record again?
9-8.
And they started out 5-0.
Yeah. No, I don't think they started out 5-0. Did they?
They were fucking killing it
early in the season, but I don't think they started out 5-0. But I'm not sure. But either way, 9-8 gets you in the playoffs. it's crazy.
If they wouldn't have won today, would he have been on the hot seat?
Yes, I think maybe that is a situation
That's
more than
messed
Steve
up.
Wilks of a win or loss affects
Wow.
your job in the future.
All right. Man, I'm out of stuff to talk about. I just want to hang out with you guys. So we should just do the towel of shame and let CK
People
probably
wanted us
go
to do
into his family.
People wanted us to do an extra long show anyway, but no,
It's
it
not
is that
even an
time.
extra long show. This is a short show, and I mean, like, what else am I? I mean, it's the last post game show. I'm not gonna hang out with you guys till Tuesday.
Yeah,
we went damn near 3 hours. That's close.
Right.
But
But
over 3 hours.
do you? Okay, I'm just sad.
Let me see the.
No,
we are.
You're
No,
right.
right now
it's not even about the season. It's about this. Is that?
It's
Do you know how fun these shows are for all of us?
Yeah, it's like
And
your
we
last
didn't
study hall
have 30
senior
calls tonight. By the way, we only had like 10 calls. This might have been one of the least called shows of the whole season. I deleted at one point, and this is wild because when I first started this podcast, I was very wary about starting to call voicemail because I didn't want to advertise calls and no one call. And that was like, I was like, guys, that's going to make this look so dumb when there's only 8 people watching each week. You know what I'm saying? Like, is like, and I just figured out how to try to do it. And I deleted and I went into the voicemail. You know, I don't delete shit, Cody. Because I gave Cody the Google Voice one time, and he looked at it and he was like, "What am I supposed to do with this?" And I was like, "Do you not see?"
He never deletes any of them. Like,
but do you not see bold versus like bold and unbold? But I went through and deleted something like 145 calls from December. Dang. Think about that. And we skipped the post game show. And then I deleted this. Like, it's been wild about how, like, if you could just be in my seat when I was scared, I actually had people, I planted calls. I had my friends, I forced my friends to call. You know what I'm saying? I was like, you have to call, bro. I need you to do this for me. And made them call. And now I'm deleting 145 calls in 2 and 3 weeks.
Now you're hoping that we don't get more calls at the end of a Tuesday show to prolong it and make it go any further.
I'm so sad. I don't want to end this show right now. I'm telling you, man, this post game. And you know what? And I'm going to end my point with this. I'll let you guys take the reins. Today, I don't know if I really watched the game like I usually watch the game. And what I mean by that is I watched this game with kind of like this is the end.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's a win or it's a loss. I wasn't hanging on everything. It was more about when it was over would be the sad part than a single play was the sad part. So this has been a great season for us. And the post-game show has been popping, and I want to hang out with y'all forever.
You know, also, so for the free-for-all, kind of similar how you were telling friends to call in, I have a Twitter chat with all the normals that always come on the Friday free-for-all, right?
So exhausting, probably. I bet you it's exhausting.
I've got Anthony, I've got Pickle, I've got Drew, I've got White Chocolate. Dude, that chat is lit, right? But I started posting a link whenever we want to upload something on StreamYard. I made this little side room so that way we could upload like new bumpers that Greg made or whatever. And I've just been, for the past, I don't even know, like 2 months now, we just go into the C3 Man Cave. We go into the C3 Man Cave, and I just share my YouTube TV, and we've been watching the fucking game every Sunday, man. And it's just for the diehard C3 fans, So it's been fun. If you don't get a chance to go to a game, I'm watching it with the homeboys every Sunday.
Better. I hate to say it. Do you feel guilty about that? I feel so guilty about this. I would rather sit in a room and watch this game with y'all on TV than I would go to it.
I agree.
Yeah, dude, it's
I agree.
way more
Beer's
fun.
cheaper. I don't got enough home.
I
agree.
know. I
You're
feel
definitely
so
right.
guilty about that shit. I feel so guilty. I'm like, oh, we can't go to the game. I got to do a post game. It's exhausting.
Yeah. Dude, maybe next year we can do a few more in-person post games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
That would be cool too.
Maybe, we'll grow enough over the off season to where we can like get C3 season tickets.
That would be fucking.
You know what is? I was thinking about this. Is I do feel like we're probably hitting a point where we could argue for press passes. And you know what? They told. All right. So I applied one time. They gave. This is all right. So here we'll end this, and we're gonna go to the tell of shame. Unless you guys need to talk. But this is funny. So when I first started this podcast, I didn't start this as a podcast. Originally, this started as a podcast and a website. And CarolinaCatChronicles.com was trying to, it's like, but then this is turned to be the better conversational medium for someone that doesn't, like have a million writers and anyway, we'll talk about that in a different way. But, Charlotte Vibe has press credentials and he's independent, right? And so there was a point where the media, first of all, like when you apply for press credentials, I'm guessing when you apply for it, it was the Charlotte Observer, it was the radio station. So think back 2010, 2009, 10, 11, 12, before live broadcasting was a thing, before podcast, any of that was really normal. They called something like Charlotte Vibe or ourselves as we were getting started. They called it independent media, right? You're not part of a corporation. And when I applied, that makes it sound funny. Like there's an application. You just have to send an email to their media department. And the lady this was probably 2014, I think, or the beginning of 2015. She said, we don't give credentials to independent media right now. And I was like, well, I know Chris Jenkins got some, but he's been doing it longer than I. So, I mean, it's not like I was trying to make a big deal. I was like, all right. But in 2014, I think, or 2015, this one kid maybe it was 2016. This kid was writing for us, and I cannot remember his name off the top. He's cool as shit. He did not live around but he wrote a couple of articles for CarolinaCatChronicles.com, which are just opinion pieces, editorials. But he went to, and it was the year after or the same year that they said that they wouldn't give us credentials. And he just showed up at the press camp, not press camp, at training camp. And he said he wore a Panthers polo, like one that he bought like from the team store. So it just had the real logo. And he said, I'm here for C3 covering this. And they gave him press credentials and they let him out to the field. This was early. I swear this was 2014 or 2015. But what I'm trying to say is is we probably could and theoretically could be included in that.
And dude, you guys know because you've been to my house. Like I can go on my porch and spit on the stadium.
Yeah,
you
need to be R. I'm telling. If I was going to send one person to go to the post games, to any press conference, I would send you. I would send you
the best questions, dude.
Channel your inner who. Who would I tell you?
Like, don't ask that guy.
Who would I tell you to channel?
No, my inner Dave Newton.
Yes, thank you. See, we've made up already.
Dude, me and Dave, we would be one hell of a duo. Just asking off the wall shit.
Yeah. No, I mean, but at the same time, I don't know. Have you ever been? I went on this stadium tour of Bank of America, and if you go into the press conference, like you're not allowed to have emotion. If you're in the press in the booth, like you have to be. I don't even know if I want to be in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to be like this. You got to be like poor David Newton's over there, like having the tweet, misspelling everybody's name, and have no emotion. I don't know. I'd rather probably just sit here with y'all and watch the game.
It's fun, dude. It's so fun. What do you say we do our final?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Our final towel of shame and